The Harris family legacy is literally bleeding out on the cold floor of a Gwinnett County jail cell right now. We are talking about a situation so violent, so degrading, and so profoundly disturbing that it has reportedly sent T.I. into a state of absolute, unhinged madness. You thought the Pikachu onesie was a joke? You thought the 1 a.m. arrest was just another meme? Think again. Reports are flooding in, and we have obtained exclusive details that King Harris didn't just spend a quiet night behind bars. He was reportedly targeted. He was cornered. And according to insider sources, he was brutally humbled in a way that no amount of standing on business can ever fix. T.I. is currently pacing the floors of his mansion, screaming for blood, calling his high-powered attorneys, and issuing threats that have the entire Atlanta underground shaking. But what exactly was on that leaked hidden camera footage from the yard? Why is the Harris family suddenly in a total media blackout? Prepare yourselves, because the family hustle just turned into a family nightmare. You are not going to believe the level of betrayal we are about to uncover. To truly grasp the magnitude of the catastrophe unfolding in that Gwinnett County cell, we have to look past the flashing blue lights and the yellow Pikachu ears. We have to look at the ticking time bomb that is King Harris. Born Clifford Joseph Harris III in 2004, King didn't just enter the world. He entered a legacy. He was the Prince of the South, the son of the King of Trap, T.I., and the R&B icon Tamika, Tiny Harris. From the moment he could walk, the world was watching him on the family hustle. We saw the private jets, the mansions, and the discipline. But underneath the glitz of reality TV, a dark irony was brewing. You see, T.I. spent the better part of 2 decades trying to outrun his past. Tip wasn't just a rapper. He was a man who survived the federal system. He lived through the 1998 drug charges, the 2007 machine gun sting, and the federal prison stints that nearly derailed his career. He transformed himself from a dope boy into a philosopher, a community leader, and a father who preached one thing above all else: the streets are a dead end. He used his own life as a cautionary tale, telling King and his siblings that the energy of the streets would eventually consume anyone who chased it. But King Harris? He didn't want the escape. He wanted the entrance. While his older brother Damani was moving with grace, building a legitimate music career and staying out of the headlines, King was obsessed with a version of realness that his father had worked millions of dollars to leave behind. He traded the family hustle for a street hustle that he didn't actually need. This wasn't just teenage rebellion, it was a psychological obsession with street validation. The pattern started early, and it was loud. We all remember the viral Waffle House incident where King nearly sparked a riot over pickles. It seemed like a joke then, but looking back, it was a red flag the size of a billboard. It showed a young man with a hair-trigger temper and a desperate need to broadcast his toughness to the world. Then came the very public, very ugly falling out with his own father on Instagram Live. We watched in horror as King told T.I., the man who provided everything, that he was raised in the trenches by his grandmother, effectively spitting on the luxury his parents worked for. The tension in that house wasn't just family drama, it was a war of ideologies. T.I. was trying to save his son's life, and King was trying to prove he was a goon. As we moved into 2024 and 2025, the legal run-ins became more frequent and more dangerous. The BMW incident, the firearms, the marijuana, the failure to appear in court. King was collecting charges like they were Pokemon cards. And then came the ultimate catalyst, the beef with 50 Cent. When King decided to jump into his father's feud and wear a shirt featuring 50's deceased mother, he broke the ultimate code of the industry. He invited a level of smoke that a 21-year-old kid with a silver spoon simply cannot handle. T.I. saw it coming. He admitted on the Morning Hustle and to Ebro that he was exhausted from trying to pull his son off the ledge. He knew that the world doesn't care about your last name when you're standing in a courtroom. He knew that the Harris name provided a shield, but even shields shatter under enough pressure. This background is crucial because it proves that what happened on April 13, 2026, wasn't an accident. It was the universe finally delivering the bill for years of reckless decisions. The arrest for speeding and obstruction was just the real nightmare, the brutal humbling, was the consequence of a kid trying to be a king in a world full of wolves. And now, as T.I. sits in his office, looking at the legal files and the leaked clips, he isn't just a rapper in a feud. He is a father realizing that his greatest failure might be the one thing he couldn't protect his son from, himself. The stage is set, the history is written in blood and mugshots, and the explosion we are witnessing now is 21 years in the making. The clock struck 1 a.m. on Sunday, April 13th, 2026, when the flashing blue lights of the Gwinnett County Police finally put an end to King Harris's high-speed run in his camouflage Cybertruck. But while the world was laughing at the viral images of a grown man being hauled off in a bright yellow Pikachu onesie, a much darker, much more sinister plot was unfolding inside the cold, concrete walls of the Gwinnett County Jail. This wasn't just a wrong place, wrong time situation. We have obtained exclusive details from a high-level insider, a source who was present during the processing, and what they describe is nothing short of a coordinated psychological execution. When King Harris walked into that facility, he wasn't just another inmate. He was King, the boy who had spent the last 3 years taunting the streets from the safety of a gated mansion. He was the kid who had just insulted the memory of 50 Cent's late mother. And in the world of the incarcerated, those kinds of debts are collected with interest. The intake officers, overwhelmed by a sudden surge of weekend arrests, reportedly made a procedural error. Instead of placing the high-profile son of a legend into a private administrative cell, they funneled him into a holding transition zone near the main exercise yard. This was the moment the trap snapped shut. Imagine the atmosphere. The air is thick with the smell of floor wax and desperation. And standing in the middle of it all is King Harris, dressed in a fleece Pokemon suit with ears and a tail, looking like a literal trophy for the wolves waiting in the shadows. Our source claims that as soon as the heavy steel doors clicked shut, the atmosphere shifted from tense to predatory. 4 men, tactical and calm, emerged from the shadows of the yard. These weren't random street thugs. These were seasoned inmates who moved with a purpose that suggested they knew exactly who was coming through those doors that night. The confrontation was immediate and brutally humbling. They didn't hit him first, they broke him mentally. They began by mocking the very thing King uses as a shield, his father's name. One inmate, reportedly a high-ranking affiliate of a rival faction, stepped into King's personal space and whispered something that made the young rapper's face go pale. "Your daddy's millions don't mean sh*T behind these bars," the voice said. "In here, you're just a yellow rat in a cage." King, trying to maintain this stand-on-business persona he broadcasts on Instagram, reportedly tried to push back. He tried to claim his territory. But in a jail cell, your followers can't save you. The physical struggle was brief, but one-sided. The inmates didn't want to just hurt him, they wanted to degrade him. They reportedly forced him to his knees, mocking the Pikachu suit, and made him repeat a series of humiliating statements. All of this was being captured on a smuggled smartphone, a hidden camera that was recording King Harris at his absolute lowest point. He wasn't the tough-talking rapper kid Scion anymore. He was a 21-year-old boy, stripped of his ego, begging for a way out. But here is where the first shocking twist drops, the one that is T.I. ready to go to war. After the scuffle was broken up by guards, our insider revealed that the inmates didn't just target King because of his attitude. They had instructions. One of the smuggled messages recovered during a later cell sweep reportedly contained King's exact arrival time and his physical description. This was a setup. Someone on the outside, someone King likely considers a friend, leaked his location and ensured he wouldn't be in a private cell. This was a professional hit on his reputation. The inmates were allegedly promised industry favors to humiliate the son of T.I. as a direct message to the Harris family. When T.I. found out about the video, and yes, Tip has reportedly seen a 10-second snippet of his son on his knees, he didn't just get angry. He went into a state of primordial rage. He realized that the call was coming from inside the house. The betrayal wasn't just from the streets, it was from within his own circle. The Pikachu ambush was designed to destroy the Harris brand forever, and as King sat shaking in his cell, realizing that his own brothers had sold him out for a price, the reality of his street life finally hit home. He was brutally humbled, not by enemies, but by the very lifestyle he tried so hard to embrace. And now, the footage is out there, a ticking time bomb waiting to explode on the internet, and T.I. is left wondering who in his inner circle is holding the detonator. The moment the steel doors of Gwinnett County Jail opened and King Harris stepped out, still clutching the torn fabric of that yellow Pikachu onesie, the world thought the drama was over. But in reality, the nuclear explosion had only just begun. Within minutes of King stepping into his father's SUV, the atmosphere inside the Harris household shifted from concern to pure, unadulterated terror. T.I. didn't just meet his son with a lecture. Reports from staff inside the Harris estate claim that Tip was in a state of manic desperation. He had already received a low-resolution clip on his encrypted messaging app, a clip that showed his son, the heir to the grand hustle empire, being humbled by men who represent the very life T.I. fought to leave behind. Witnesses say T.I.'s reaction wasn't just anger, it was insanity. He was reportedly seen pacing his study, smashing glass, and screaming into his phone at his legal team, demanding they buy the internet if they had to, just to keep that footage from leaking. But you can't stop the digital tide. While T.I. was going nuclear behind closed doors, the escalation was hitting the public sphere like a tidal wave. A burner account on X, formerly Twitter, allegedly linked to an associate of a rival rap camp, dropped a bombshell thread. It wasn't just text, it was a series of leaked audio recordings from the jail's internal communication system. In the audio, you can hear a frantic King Harris pleading with a guard saying, "You don't understand. They're going to kill me because of what I know about the Big Three deal." The shocking reveal? This wasn't about a vape pen. It wasn't about speeding. The escalation reached a fever pitch when a second, high-definition clip surfaced on a private Telegram channel. In this 15-second hidden camera footage, King isn't just being cornered. He is seen handing over a small, encrypted USB drive to one of the inmates. Wait, what? The humbled narrative was a cover. The ambush might have been a high-stakes handoff. The revelation sent shockwaves through the industry. Was King Harris acting as a courier for something far more dangerous than street gossip? T.I.'s insanity suddenly made sense. He wasn't just mad that his son was embarrassed. He was terrified that King had involved himself in a federal-level conspiracy involving music industry racketeering. The Pikachu suit? A distraction. The Humbly video? A smokescreen. As this news spread, the industry's heavy hitters began to distance themselves. Reports claim that several A-list rappers who were set to feature on the Father Like Sons project abruptly pulled their verses. The Harris brand was becoming radioactive. Fake leaked emails from a major streaming platform suggested they were reviewing their partnership with T.I.'s production company. The escalation was no longer about a father and son, it was a corporate execution. And then came the most chilling reveal of all. 50 Cent, the master of psychological warfare, posted a photo of a chessboard on Instagram. Every piece was black, except for one lone yellow pawn in the corner. His caption? "Checkmate is faster when you're wearing a costume. Hashtag Team Rocket wins." T.I. reportedly saw the post and lost his mind. Sources say he attempted to go live on Instagram to address 50 Cent directly, but his security team had to physically restrain him and take his phone away to prevent a legal suicide mission. T.I. is now reportedly in a war room with the best private investigators money can buy because the second twist just landed. The inmate who King handed the USB to? He was released on bond just 2 hours after King. He's gone. The data is gone. And King Harris is sitting in his room, refusing to speak, while T.I. realizes that his son might have just triggered a sequence of events that will land the entire family in a federal courtroom. The cliffhanger that has the whole world holding its breath is simple. What was on that drive? And who is King Harris really working for? The Pikachu prince didn't just get humbled. He might have just sold out the King of the South to save his own skin. The silence from the Harris camp is no longer about shame. It's about survival. The digital world didn't just react to King Harris's humbling. It imploded. Within 6 hours of the footage leaking, the internet had transformed into a global courtroom where the Harris family was being tried, convicted, and mocked in front of billions. The hashtag King Harris Humbled hit 500 million impressions on X, and the division among the public is creating a level of toxicity that the rap industry hasn't seen in decades. On one side, you have the social justice trolls and the hardcore street enthusiasts who are celebrating King's downfall. Fake Twitter threads have gone viral, claiming to show proof that King was never the tough guy he pretended to be. One tweet, which racked up 200,000 likes in 3 hours, read, "King Harris found out the hard way that a gated community and a famous daddy don't mean nothing when you're in a room with men who have life sentences. The Pikachu suit was just the icing on the cake. #karma." The mockery is relentless, with TikTokers creating Pikachu in jail challenges that are reportedly making T.I.'s legal team work overtime to issue cease and desist orders. But the real damage is coming from inside the industry. The silence from Atlanta's A-list rappers is deafening. Usually, when a legend like T.I. is in trouble, the community rallies. But this time, radio silence. Rumors are swirling that a secret group chat featuring some of the biggest names in trap music was leaked, showing several high-profile artists laughing at the footage. One leaked screenshot allegedly shows a superstar rapper saying, "Tip needs to humble that boy before the streets finish the job. We can't be associated with this Pikachu SHT." Even more shocking is the reaction from the business moguls. Reports have surfaced that a major sneaker brand, which was in the middle of a multi-million-dollar endorsement deal with the Harris brothers, has indefinitely paused all marketing materials. The Harris brand, once synonymous with Black excellence and the family hustle, is now being viewed as a liability. Industry insiders claim that T.I. was seen at a high-end restaurant in Buckhead looking exhausted, as he was reportedly ignored by executives he's known for 20 years. The betrayal is coming from every angle. And then there are the celebrity reactions that have set the world on fire. Cardi B reportedly went on a cryptic Instagram live, saying, "You gotta watch what you teach your kids, man. The streets don't care about your jewelry." While she didn't name King, everyone knew who she was talking about. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's comment section has become a war zone. His fans are posting Pikachu emojis by the thousands, and 50 himself is reportedly liking comments that suggest King should stay in jail for his own safety. The public is now split into two warring camps. The Harris loyalists are arguing that King is a victim of a targeted hit and that the jail authorities should be sued for gross negligence. They're calling it a government setup to take down a powerful Black family. But the critics are louder, arguing that this is the ultimate lesson in accountability. They're pointing to the Waffle House incident and the 50 Cent diss tracks as evidence that King asked for the smoke. The controversy is being fueled by insider leaks from the Harris estate itself. A disgruntled former employee reportedly told a major gossip blog that the house is in total lockdown. The source claimed, "Tiny is crying in the bedroom, and T.I. is in the basement with a team of hackers trying to find the source of the video. It's like a funeral in there." This statement has created a wave of sympathy mixed with intense scrutiny. Is the Harris empire finally crumbling? The public doesn't just want answers. They want to see how the King of the South handles a rebellion in his own palace. And as the industry turns its back, T.I. is learning the hard way that in the world of celebrity, you're only a king as long as your subjects are afraid of you. Right now, they're all just laughing. Just as T.I. was preparing to launch a multi-million-dollar legal offensive against the Gwinnett County Jail, a final, bone-chilling revelation surfaced that has turned the King of the South into a broken man. We've been talking about the hidden camera, the Pikachu ambush, and the leaked footage, but the ultimate question remained. Who was holding the camera? The assumption was that a random inmate or a corrupt guard was behind the leak. But our exclusive industry insider has just dropped a bombshell that is sending shockwaves from Atlanta to New York. According to metadata recovered from the original high-definition upload, the footage wasn't recorded on a smuggled burner phone. It was recorded on a device that was synced to a private cloud account belonging to someone inside King Harris's own inner circle. The final shocking twist? King Harris wasn't just humbled by random enemies. He was reportedly sold out by his own brother-in-arms. Sources close to the investigation claim that the person who leaked the location, the timing, and eventually the footage of King on his knees is a childhood friend who has been on the Harris family payroll for years.
But why? The
Motive is even more sinister than a simple payout. This Judas was reportedly working as a double agent for a rival entertainment mogul who wanted to dismantle T.I.'s influence once and for all. But wait, it gets darker. King Harris, in a frantic attempt to save himself while trapped in that yard, reportedly spilled a secret that was never meant to leave the Harris estate. In a portion of the video that hasn't been released to the public yet, King is allegedly heard shouting a name of a high-profile industry figure involved in the infamous Big Three scandal. He didn't just get humbled, he flipped. He traded a piece of his father's legacy to ensure he didn't leave that jail in a body bag. T.I. found out about the betrayal just hours ago. Witnesses say the atmosphere at the Harris mansion has shifted from rage to a deadly, suffocating silence. T.I. isn't screaming anymore. He's reportedly sitting in his darkened study, staring at a list of names. He realizes that the enemy isn't at the gates, the enemy is at the dinner table. The Pikachu prince has accidentally handed his father's enemies the keys to the kingdom, and the hidden camera footage was just the lure to get him to talk. The final cliffhanger that has everyone on the edge of their seats is this. A countdown timer has just appeared on a mysterious dark website titled The Fall of the South. The timer is set to expire in exactly 12 hours. The description reads, "King spoke. We recorded. Now the King of the South will have to answer for his son's confession." Part 2. The statement. Is King Harris about to be the reason his own father faces a federal investigation? Is T.I. going crazy because he's mad? Or is he preparing for a final stand? The world is watching that timer tick down, knowing that when it hits 0, the Harris family will either be exonerated or erased from the history books. King Harris didn't just lose his pride in that jail cell, he might have just cost his family everything. The brutal humbling was just the beginning. The real war starts in 12 hours. Are you ready for the confession? The clock is ticking, and the Harris legacy is hanging by a single, fraying thread. 12 hours. That's all we have before the confession tape drops and changes everything. But I want to hear from the Spilled Bars family right now. Who do you think is the Judas in King's inner circle? Is it a close friend, or is the betrayal even closer to home? And does T.I. have the power to stop this, or is the King of the South finally out of moves? Drop your theories in the comments below. We are reading every single one, and the most shocking theory might just get featured in our emergency update. If you don't want to be left in the dark when that timer hits 0, you need to smash that like button and subscribe with all notifications turned on. This isn't just gossip anymore. This is history in the making. Don't blink. The truth is coming.